Welcome to Rick's Corner. The man, the myth, the legend. Now on with the show.
Welcome to Rick's Corner. Today we're going to talk about professional wrestling. I have a friend of mine, Aron Stevens, formerly known as
Damien Sandow, Damien Dow, I guess, one of those things. But you get the point. The Dow guy.
The Dow guy. The Dow guy from WWE. And we've talked about doing the show, and I want to get into more wrestling stuff because I've been doing strictly bodybuilding, which is a big part of my audience, of course. But I want to start back. You were trained with Killer Kowalski?
Yes, yeah. I finagled my way in there at 16, and just kind of learned my lessons the not the hard way, but the interesting way, as I like to say.
Well, it's old school.
Yeah, and being a younger guy. And you're in there with grown men. It was very eye-opening, but at the same time, when you learn something, you didn't forget it because it was impressed upon you. Because
exactly.
I was still fairly impressionable at that age. I was still a good Catholic schoolboy.
Well, when you start out with something like that, I was trained by Johnny Mae Young. Remember her?
Yeah.
And at the Olympic Auditorium, and I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. I mean, I drove from Bakersfield to go try out, and I was in bodybuilding. She said, "Well, I can make some money with this." She put me in this little tiny ring upstairs at the Olympic Auditorium. Made me take some bumps, and it was all new to me, and a little bit stiff, because they all are. And I said, no, I kind of like this. I think it's okay. So, I mean, they got to break in somehow.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, I'm still here. I'm still healthy and everything, and then survived the career and had the career I had, and that's all. It's thanks to Killer, or Walter, as I know him. Yeah. Did
you have a lot of injuries?
Knock on wood. No. Some bumps and bruises, ankle, chipped a bone in the ankle once, I think a cracked orbital socket when I was in developmental.
Yeah.
But if you really look at, the length of the career I had and some of the things I've done.
Since 2001?
Yeah, there really hasn't been a lot.
Well, you're fortunate.
Yeah.
You're fortunate.
Yes, I am. Yeah, I throw up a prayer every time I go out there, and it seems to work, so.
Well, the joints are what take a beating, and how old are you?
I am 29 for the 7th year in a row. 35.
Well, as you get older, arthritis sets in. We all know arthritis, and it takes care of your joints. It's just one of those things that you just can't get rid of. Hopefully, you won't get it. How do you think wrestling's changed over this past couple of decades? From let's say from when you started.
And again, I must admit, I really haven't watched recently. But I just to see kind of like the metamorphosis, and I always think like wrestling is kind of a microcosm on many different levels of what is going on in the world.
Yeah.
And what society is.
Yeah.
In the 80s, you had Sergeant Slaughter and the Iron Sheik.
Yes.
And the larger than life characters.
Yes.
And as it evolved, you had, Stone Cold Steve Austin, the anti-hero. And then, going past that, you have John Cena, which was almost kind of like Hulk Hogan, but in an updated version. And it's just interesting, the ebb and flow of it. And, it's like the external elements, they'll change in terms of like what people are buying. And that like with me, it's always about the people.
Yeah.
Sometimes, from a company standpoint, whether it's WWE, whether it's Impact, whether it's New Japan, WCW back in the day, if a company says, hey, let's go this way, and people, they say no, it's up to the company to change.
Right.
And, the companies that are surviving today have always been able to do that. And that's a testament to them, because that is ultimately your boss.
Yeah, I mean, the people dictate what they want.
100%. And every time I went out there, that's what I did. I mean, the most important tools as a wrestler were your ears.
Yeah.
Because if you can be in touch with what they're buying, listen to it, have it register, and then not only adapt, like, where does my character going to go on TV, but in that moment, when you're in the ring.
Yeah.
Be able to make those adjustments, and whether it's in the ring or talking.
Yeah.
That's when the magic happens.
The old school style of wrestling, grabbing a hold, laying on the hold, doing the high spots, selling. When I saw this as a kid, I was about 12, 13 years old in Bakersfield at the Stellar Stadium with the old timers. I believed what I saw. I said, this crazy stuff going on here. And when I got into it, I don't know about you, but I wasn't quite sure. I wasn't quite sure if they were working me or if it was real or if it wasn't, even to the day of my first match. Wow. I said, they must be putting this, the whole world's against me right now. They're trying to get me into something that is something that I don't think that it is. Did you ever feel that way?
Not that I can recall, because when I broke in, it was, the late 90s. I kind of knew, obviously, like it was entertainment.
Yeah.
But to me, it was also like, okay, I knew it was entertainment, but I don't know how it actually works. It's like with a magician, you can pull a rabbit out of the hat, or if you're really good, make the Statue of Liberty disappear. But okay, it's not real, but still, how do you do that?
That's exactly what I'm saying. You know it's not real. You know that it's entertainment, and then you think to yourself, maybe they're just BSing me along, and maybe it is, because I got in the ring with tough guys like Buddy Killer Austin. And this guy was strong, and then he just wanted to stiff me everywhere. And then we settled down, and it was fine. But I thought, I've been training here for 6 months with her and a bunch of guys, and I saw him at a show, and I said, man, I never want to work with that guy. I always have these fears, because there's something going on there that maybe not be legit. So she brings him into my training session and puts him in the ring with me. He locked up so hard, he gave me I saw stars.
Oh, wow.
I saw stars. But that's how these old guys were. Kenji Shibuya, I don't know if you remember him. Mr. Moto, Freddie Blassie, all these guys I worked with back then. I was the youngest kid, and a bodybuilder on top of that, which they hated.
Oh yeah, yeah. Breaking it. You want to be a wrestler kid?
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
Always tell me, you got to gain weight. You got to gain weight. I said, I don't want to gain weight. I don't want to be fat. I was 220 pounds. How much more weight do I need to gain?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and when you're in the ring, 220, built like a bodybuilder, looks like about 250.
It translates bigger, but I don't want that big fat belly.
Yeah.
And they have the big fat belly, so that pissed them off. But it's changed, and you know how it's gone over the years. I don't even watch it now. I haven't watched it in 2 years, but I'll put it on. It's like, I don't know what's going on. And then with my ring in the backyard, I get calls from people who want to be wrestlers all the time. I have my finishing move, I have my music, and I know what I'm going to do, and I can do this in 6 weeks. I said, no, you can't. Don't even think about it. Are you in shape? Well, no, I'm going to start working out.
Yeah, I mean, that's
should have started already.
Rule number one,
Yeah.
First thing is the eyes. When people, and not only the fan, but even with an official from whatever organization, aesthetically, you need to make an impression right off the bat.
You're selling flesh.
Yeah. Yeah.
The women want to be with you, and the men want to be like you. And this is how it works, but you're not going to get in the ring fat. And the other thing, back in the day, we wore our tights and our boots and all that. Today, I see these guys wearing jeans and T-shirts, and every time they take the bump, they're pulling their T-shirt down to cover their stomach.
Ooh, that's not good.
No, that's not good. I mean, if you're selling pain, what are you worried about showing your stomach?
Yeah.
So it's come a long way. And since who are you working for now? You're wrestling different areas?
No, I've you know what? A little over a year ago, I just made a decision to kind of transition out here. Had some opportunities open up, and to me, I was always I performed from here.
Yeah.
More than anything else, and I think that's was kind of evident if you ever watched me, or if anyone ever watched me out there. It was very much a feeling thing. And if I can't be 100% in, and not that I'll never go there, because you never say never, right?
Never say never.
But for right now, when I had some opportunities open up, like I fell into a Lionsgate film and really was digging it, and then the book and everything like that. So I just said, what, let me step away and try this other stuff out, because I never wanted to be the guy that does it for a paycheck.
Yeah.
The money was amazing. Every organization I worked for took really good care of me. And then that's like, you hear guys complain, and, I never had that issue. I was treated very fairly by everybody. And I appreciate that. And at the same time, I don't want to be the guy that is just there for a paycheck, holding some other guy down. Because at one point, I was a young guy. And, I wouldn't want to be held down. I want an opportunity. So,
Right.
you know, make room for the new. And it was funny because we were trying to link up for a couple months now. And, you know, one of the things in wrestling was with all the travel, you get to see some pretty cool places.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, everyone, leave, you know, the business and write a book about yourself. Well, I just have this thing where I'm not that, I don't want to say self-important because that's a bad word, but I just don't think I'm that interesting. You know? Like, I think I've had interesting experiences.
Yeah.
And to me, one of the coolest things about the business was going to these different places.
Yeah.
And getting to see, you know, what a random town in Iowa was like.
Yeah, and the people around it.
Yeah, the Pacific Northwest. Just the places you wouldn't normally visit. So like the book, if you don't mind a cheap plug.
No, I want to talk about the book too.
It's called Off the Road. And it's just about the hidden gems in the country. Like that you would never think, like, oh, I didn't know this place had that. And just the place, excuse me, that kind of resonated with me. And the people in them, and something that I took from every place. So it's, it will be available soon. We're hoping, you know, beginning of the summer. And the official beginning of the summer. I know
And
it's
called
called
what?
Off the Road.
Off the Road.
Yeah, my good friend Dennis Vanass helped me write it. We, we put it together, and it was good. I was really happy with it.
You got photos too?
No. This is just it's a pocket-sized book.
Yeah.
Because it's just something, you know, it's made for, okay, if someone has never gone to a certain area in the country, or always wondered a little more about it. It's what I took, and it just paints a picture of it. My own personal experience of the, you know, the geography, and then what I took from it. So
it's funny because wrestling, as you know, no matter where you go, doors are open for you. Wherever town, whatever you're in, people see you, they recognize you, they want to help you out, they want to take you to dinner, guide you to a gym. So this would open a lot of things in your eyes.
Yeah,
you wouldn't normally see.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And again, I only had 50 spots. There was so many more, but these are just, again, it's just, and I tried to make it eclectic too. You know, just places in North Dakota that, I mean, who would ever think about going to North Dakota? But there is a certain charm about that area of the country.
I'm sure there is. That's why they live there.
Yeah.
This is why I don't, though.
Yeah.
There's Off the Road. There's another one called a documentary coming out July 12th. It's going to be the Chinese Theater called 350 Days about being on the road.
Oh, cool.
I don't know if you've heard of it or not, but there's a lot of people in it that you know.
Oh, okay.
And if you're in town and you want to go, I can get you in to go.
Oh, right on. Thank you.
And we'll work that out because they're looking for some other people to show up. And this guy did a good job. He interviewed me 2 years ago out here from Italy. And they put it all together and it's done. He's got screenings in 50 states and 400 movie houses.
Nice.
I know.
Very cool.
Obviously, you were working out at the same time with weights. Got in great shape.
Yeah, you know, it's funny because, you know, as younger, I was like, okay, the weights mean everything and hit them. And then as, you know, you progress, and, you know, with road scheduling, like the way it is too, you know, my character, I never was a bodybuilder. I was always more into the theatrical side of it, and not by choice. And this is, of course, like the second half of my career.
Yeah.
The intellectual savior, pink tights on. It kind of just, you know, when we were going back to listening to the people, it was the natural flow and the natural progression of my career when, you know, for so long, I mean, you know, I was in WWE at a fairly young age in the developmental system down in Kentucky. And, okay, so it's about learning the psychology and the moves and going out there and making it look believable. Okay, great. Well, then what? You know, and then, you know, wrestling in Puerto Rico for the time that I did, I had my epiphany with Carlos Colon. I was doing the, it was with Glamour Boy Shane.
Okay.
And it was for the Puerto Rican heavyweight title. And we did it, it was a big angle where I went and hit him and, you know, challenged him and everything. I get to the back and Carlos was, good job. He goes, oh, cool, boss, did you see it? And he laughed. I'll never forget, he goes, no.
Oh, my God.
What?
Yes.
He goes, he goes, Idol, I'm the boss. I'm also a wrestler. If I watch it, I'm going to be partial to good wrestling. The people are my bosses. If I hear it, I know it works.
And then it doesn't work.
And I was like, oh, you know what I mean? It was like
that's a really good
the
way
sky opened up, and I'm like, you know, Hallelujah starts playing and everything.
Yeah, that's a really good way to put it. They had a guy named Tiger, this old black guy down at the Olympic Auditorium. He used to always have towels. He was all bent over. And every time I just started, and I just come out of the ring, he said, "Oh, Rick, that was a masterpiece, a masterpiece." Really? He said, "Oh, yeah, it was great." So I asked after about a couple of weeks, I said, "Is he even watching matches?" He said, "He doesn't know what's going on. He's not even there mentally."
Well, you know what's funny is wrestling fans, they are so loyal.
Yeah.
And that is the one thing that I miss, I'd say, being out of the ring more than anything, is I miss the interacting with the fans.
Yeah.
But the loyalty, you know, it's there. If it's good, they'll let you know. If it's bad, they'll let you know.
Yeah.
The casual fan, or even the person that doesn't even identify as a fan, what they thought of my performances was how I judged me, because they're not looking at it from a wrestler's or wrestling fan's point of view.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, let's face it, whether you're in the ring...
It's something new to them.
Yeah. Whether you're in the ring or out of the ring, as a fan, fans are just as much a part of the show as the talent.
Yes, they are.
And to bring more fans in is the goal of everybody, right? We want to sell out the cheap seats. So I always, like, appreciated just a casual... I don't even like the word casual fan, but just a civilian. You know,
yeah.
Because I mean, again, fan
a
talent,
non-fan.
yeah, fan talent. We're all part of this weird little world. But what they thought of me, you know, which is why I mean, I wore the pink and everything in the beginning, because
right.
I mean, come on, I had a giant beard and pink tights. That's repulsive. You know,
well, it actually worked.
Why? Yeah, but why wouldn't you, like, if you're flipping through the channels and you see that, you know, you're going to wait a minute. What's going on? So it grabs their attention, and then it was up to you know, me to hold them, and that goes with every talent. So yeah, so and I tried to do the same thing in the book, by the way. Just kind of let people know, like, where I've been. I have been hiding under a rock for a year. It's been I've actually gone to some of these places too to revisit them.
Yeah. Because
one of the things about these places was, you know, road schedule, boom, 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 boom. Well, I got to go to Greensboro and hang out for a little more.
Yeah.
You know, and just kind of get a feel for everything and decompress, kind of.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was it. So it's a, you know, to tie the book and the my wrestling career, it's a good blend of, like, little anecdotes, as well as you know, opening up a part of the country that people may not have seen.
When's it coming out?
June 25th.
Oh, that's right around the corner.
Yeah, it's going to be. The goal is June 25th, which we're right on track and everything. But it'll be available this summer.
And where?
Amazon.
Okay.
And you can order it AronStevens.com,
okay.
And that's ARONSTEVENS.com.
Okay.
So yeah, 1A, 1R, just like
I always
Elvis.
thought 2 A's was like,
yeah. And it's, people call me Aron sometimes, which I'm thinking about just kind of like dropping the last name and just going by A dash.
Oh, I get called Eric. It's not Eric, it's Rick. Your bodybuilding, your weightlifting, and all that, you had to coincide with your wrestling, and it's and I trained every day when I was wrestling, and getting to the gym could be a hardship, and training hard in the morning and then going out at night and getting back in the morning and going to the gym again. But I made it a ritual because it was my duty to stay in shape. Is this how you did it?
Yes. I mean, it becomes part of your lifestyle. Like, and people ask, like, oh, well, how did you find time to do this? Well,
to make time.
Exactly. There's just, Tom Pritchard had, it was a great saying. There's those that say, I'll try it. Those that say, I'll give it my best. And those that say, I'll do whatever it takes. And you know that, like, that mentality to be successful, yeah, you have to have your in-ring stuff down, but you also have to have your aesthetics, you know, and you have to have your promo skills.
It's all part of the deal.
Do whatever it takes, yeah. Just do not make excuses, even if it's, sometimes you'll be able to go there for 45 minutes, but you know what? I mean, you know a lot better than me, but if it's chest day or arm day, you can push your muscle.
Oh, I've done that. I've done it in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And actually,
100,
actually a better workout.
Yeah.
How'd you come up with Damien Sandow? Gave
me a list of names. I picked him. And Sandow, I think, was one of the names I suggested because of Billy Sandow from the Goldust Trio.
Yeah. And then Eugene Sandow, the old time.
Yes.
Yeah.
It just put it together, and it was funny because people go like, "What? That's strange."
Oh, I liked it.
But the thing is, the person makes the name, not the other way around.
Yeah.
You know, at one point, the best boxer in the world, Cassius Clay, changed his name to Muhammad Ali, and people thought, what? But no, it was the individual makes the name.
Yes, that's very true. The character was a good character.
Thank you. Well, which one?
Well, I'm talking about Damien Sandow.
Oh, thank you.
And your promos and all that were like spot on.
Thank you.
I mean, you can't forget that. I appreciate that. It was that good. I mean, this is when I was watching more and more. Are you doing acting too?
Yes. Had a bunch of opportunities when I left, the wrestling business right away. As I'm finding out, discretion it's a good tool to have.
Yeah.
And so I've been very, very lucky with people that I've just gone in, and it's so much like wrestling where you get in with a group of people and you pick their brains.
Yeah.
And have a good understanding, and at the same time, kind of as a talent, I'm not going to put anything out there that I am not 100% sure I can absolutely crush. So with me, when I said, okay, I'm going to step away from the ring, first thing I did, it wasn't like, okay, move out here and start auditioning, because a lot of people do that, and I'm not saying it's right or wrong, know, and some people, and a lot of people said I was a little nuts, but I've always kind of listened to what's going on in here.
Yeah.
To me, I'm going to study Shakespeare because that's the root of all theater. So I want to get some Shakespearean acting in. And then I kind of progressed. I did some improv stuff. I did some, film stuff and everything. So to kind of make me a complete performer, so whatever I get, go in there and absolutely hit a grand slam.
Well, I think wrestling helps.
100%.
Theater in the round.
100%. It's so like Shakespeare. I mean, I did an interview a couple years ago for ESPN, and the guy was like, "Oh, that's not like MMA." Yeah, I'm well aware.
And it's much better because
I'm well aware. It's Shakespeare.
Yeah.
We have it's a stage. It just happens to be a ring.
Yeah.
We have protagonist, antagonist, conflict resolution,
and ballet with violence.
Yes, exactly, exactly. So come on, that's about as cool as you get.
Yeah. Well, where can people reach you? It's AronStevens.com?
Yes, AronStevens.com, AronStevens.com. So my Instagram, I also have a Twitter, and the Twitter is Aron's Thoughts, ARONS Thoughts. And my Instagram was unceremoniously hacked because I was in the process of being verified, but then there's like 10 or 15 accounts pretending to be me.
Oh.
Someone thought, I don't know what happened. I just woke up, it wasn't there, and I just gotten on Instagram again. And the Instagram is the Aron, ARON, Files, FILES.
Okay,
so,
I'll put that up too.
Thanks.
I appreciate you coming over.
Well, thank you for having me.
And
great.
Plugging that book, and I'll get you the information on 350 days.
Absolutely.
That's going to be fun too.
Cool.
All right. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Thank you, Aron, for being here. This is very interesting because it's another side of our lives that we've all been part of for years, and wrestling is a big deal. So, see you guys next time. Hey everyone, now you can have the Gold's Gym logo drawn by me, the artist Rick Drasin, personalized and made out to you and signed by me to frame and put on your gym wall or wherever you see fit to do so. It's a piece of bodybuilding history. It will never be duplicated again. It's the largest selling icon t-shirt logo in the world, and I'm the guy that drew it, and I will draw it for you. Just go to my website, rickdrasin.com, and order there. You can pay through PayPal, and it'll be sent out right away. And be sure to watch Rick's Corner for all the videos on bodybuilding, nutrition, fitness, pro wrestling, and anything that suits your interests as far as getting physically fit and being the best you can be from the golden era of bodybuilding.
He's the equalizer, baby. See you next time.